Good evening and welcome to another episode of Once Upon a Discussion, The Evil Queen, and Regina Mills, because I'm going to mix them together for this one. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is another discussion powered by Instigator.com, and there is a live chat going on there. So make sure to send tweets, YouTube comments, or talk in the chat room so we can discuss Regina Mills and everything that she brings to the Once Upon a Time table, because she is Once Upon a Time. I mean, the show originally, I would say, might have been about Mary Margaret and David, but after episode 3, I would say the show became Regina centric. She is the bomb. She runs the show. She's my favorite character, and everything about her just screams awesome. That's just showing how much I like her. Now, I was originally intending to do a Regina solo stream just about Regina the Evil Queen, and then do a a stream about Regina Mills, the mayor, because it's two characters, but it's not. Like, the way the show describes it is interesting, because in episode 10 of season 4, the Evil Queen, or the Snow Queen, said to Regina that, like, I was cursed by someone in a past life, or I annoyed someone in a past life and they cursed me. So I can't really figure out exactly if the cursed self is not your true self, or it doesn't really make sense. I'm not going to get into that discussion, because knowing that Regina is Regina, Evil Queen or not, she's still her. She's still done those actions. Either way, welcome again to the Evil Queen Regina Mills discussion. So, like I said, send tweets, send comments, shoot me questions about the show, and I will be more than happy to answer them. Regina is, like I said, my favorite. Now, we know from the flashbacks, of course, that the way she became evil was due to the fact that Snow White told her mother about her secret boyfriend, Daniel. And, okay, it's not enough of a reason to really turn evil, but then, she was just so angry and wouldn't let go of that anger, which is what Regina had said in her episode Tinkerbell in season 3. And she just harbored this anger because what her dream, her happy ending, was taken from her. And because it was taken, she lost it. She lost her chance at happiness and didn't think she would find it again. And she's just such a well-developed and focused on character. There are so many great episodes about her. One of my favorite, in particularly, would be actually the finale of season 3, and it just shows how Emma is reacting to Regina being the Evil Queen, and then how when she meets Regina back in Storybrooke, when Marion has come back and Regina is happy and Emma takes away, you just see how guilty Emma is and how much of a changed person Regina is, because evil Regina or original Regina would have just taken a fireball and fried Emma. Like, that would have been it. But she's just a well-rounded, developed character. She is awesome. She really is awesome. So I love Regina. I really can only say that she's that awesome. So Regina, in Storybrooke, after she cursed everyone and she came to town, there's a funny tweet that was shown to me today, where it shows Regina holding her hair, where it says curses everyone. First thing that she does is play with her hair, which is just kind of funny, because she gets what she wants and she doesn't know exactly how to deal with it. Now, after like maybe a couple weeks or so of dealing with the curse, or dealing with the abilities that she's got with it, pretty much she's able to run Storybrooke without any interference by her enemy, Snow White, and having Snow White at her beck and call, or not so much her beck and call, but having Snow White being able to easily squashed anything about her and turning her into this weak woman. She's bored. She gets bored, and she wants more out of it. She wants either a son, or she wants a child. She needs something to help her life feel fulfilled, because even though she got what she thought she wanted, it didn't make her happy, which is interesting, because it's really not what you think you want, it's what you need. It's two different things, and Regina thought she wanted revenge, but what she really needed was love. And obviously we see that through Henry, and even through Emma, particularly in season 3 and 4, which I think is great. Becoming a mother changed the Evil Queen, and allowed a lot of people to actually kind of forgive the actions she did as an Evil Queen, which was, she was pretty destructive and violent. And I got over it. I'm not going to harp upon her destructive tendencies anymore, because she's not destructive anymore. She's very good. So I just got a message on Instacator where someone in the comments said to me, I think they're all the same person when they're cursed, but now they're identified with the two different realities. That's very possible, because it definitely was, a past life sort of thing, because obviously with the enchanted forest that once was is sort of gone, but it's not. It's like a weird concept. Either way, like, they have those memories and their life is Storybrooke, so I can go with that. That is exactly what's going on with them. So, like I said, anyone who wants to really get into Evil Queen, and even after this stream is over and you guys watch it, make sure to definitely tweet me, leave comments. I'll talk about Regina for hours, and I only have a half hour to talk about this. So, Evil Queen. We literally see her progress from being a good girl to being a destructive monster. And, when Rumpelstiltskin is teaching her magic is when she starts to pretty much become evil centric. And then when she finally accepts that she can just be, not accepts she can be, when she finally learns how to use magic for herself and make it better, like the one thing that she has that truly makes her, happy. And it doesn't make her happy. Nothing actually ever satisfies her except having love. So it's such an ironic concept, I would say. Now I don't want to say the word thing. It's such an ironic concept that love is what makes her happy, when all she ever originally wanted, like I said, was revenge. Now I'm kind of repeating myself a bit, but her arcs are very much innocence shattered, corruption, antagonism, then slow reduction of antagonism to full-on hero. It's pretty much just like the crazy cycle that she goes through. I think her biggest progression was at the end of 2 going into 3. Because in season 1, as the Evil Queen, she was clearly evil. She cast a curse, she wrecked everything, and then, she was the antagonist to Emma. Because in Storybrooke season 1, Emma is the protagonist. In Enchanted Forest season 1, Snow White is the protagonist. So Regina was a foil to both of them in that case. Then when season 2 came around, Regina at first wanted her magic, she wanted Henry, and she would do whatever she could do to get it. After she got her powers back in Storybrooke, she threatened the town, and then the town was like, we gotta do something about her. But then when she realized what was happening with Henry, with him falling asleep, or him being a victim of the sleeping curse and the side effects of it, she became buddies with David, which is a good thing. It's showing that she wants to progress. And then when Emma and Mary Margaret came home, Emma wants to do a lot with Regina. She wants Regina to feel accepted and to feel happy. And maybe not feel happy, but definitely feel accepted, which then again is touched upon quite a bit in season 4, particularly episode 5. That season 4, that was also one of my favorites. That was called Breaking Glass. I remember that episode specifically. So either way, Regina, in season 2, in the beginning, after Emma and Mary Margaret get back, she's okay. But then when Cora returns, Cora draws her into becoming evil again. And it's interesting because Cora is the true antagonist of season 1, or excuse me, Regina of season 2. Cora is the true antagonist of season 2, and she made Regina, who was, at one point a really cool character, and she still is a cool character, just change her entire persona. And she convinced Regina that, she being Cora obviously, convinced her that she needed to become the Dark One, and that was the only way to get Henry back, even though I feel on the inside Regina knew that was wrong. Now, season 2 has gigantic issues with the end of it. I was originally going to talk about Peter Pan today, and I hate Peter Pan. So anyone that likes Peter Pan and wants to see him discussed before the show starts back up next month or in 3 weeks, I'll do a discussion about Peter, even though I can't stand him. Either way, with Greg and Tamara coming back to the town, it causes Regina to, still be distant and aloof, but, she is interesting with, oh my God, I just said his name and I totally forgot, with Greg, because she has interactions with Greg when he was a little boy, and his interactions with Greg are the reasons she wanted Henry. So it's still interesting that someone who, made such an impact on her life, made her realize that she wanted a child, is the reason, or is a reason that her child gets kidnapped. And yes, in the passenger in the instigator chat, Cora was a stone cold Slytherin, purely Slytherin. But I loved Cora. I love her a lot more than Rumpelstiltskin because she at least doesn't. Cora at least just stays evil. She doesn't really go up and down. She always just wants power. Rumpelstiltskin, I have a problem because he is literally weak, powerful, possibly good, then just anti-hero to full-on antagonist. Regina, her slope is she's always good at some points, even when she's evil. Because she's always thinking about someone else, even if it's not always herself. So, which is showing that she's not 100% selfish, but then again, that can be discussed in Rumpelstiltskin. And I'll do him maybe next week. I could probably do a Rumpel Peter discussion together if that would be wanted. Let me know in the comments below if you guys would like to see that. So either way, and I feel like I'm totally getting off topic of Regina. In season 2, after the whole Cora thing is over, Regina is then kidnapped by Greg and Tara, and she's tortured. And Mary Margaret and David and even Emma, they need to find her and they need to pretty much save Regina, which is so funny because they never really would think to save Regina, because of all the pain that she's caused them, but in the end they do. And then, Henry gets taken. Now, just a quick thought about season 2. I thought season 2, up until episode 16, which is when Cora died, was very good. And then the last 6 episodes, because it's 22 per season, the last 6 episodes of season 2 I thought were very weak, and they were to build up the Peter Pan arc, which I still thought was weak as well. I do not like that arc. You clearly can tell the Peter Pan, but like the last 6 episodes of 2 and the first 11 episodes of 3 are not my favorite, just because I felt that's when the writing kind of went down, and I actually enjoy the Wicked Witch, as you can tell in that, and I think the Frozen arc was amazing as well. And I talked about Zelena and the Snow Queen, but I guess in order to wrap up the villain discussion, I need to do Peter Pan. So he gets kidnapped, and Henry gets kidnapped, and then pretty much everyone is going to Neverland to find him. And in Neverland, that's when you see like the relationships go with all the characters go from being like enemies to being frenemies to actual friends, particularly in episode 10 of season 3 or episode 9. I'm not 100% sure which episode it was, but it was my favorite one because that was one of my favorite moments of 3 because they needed to get a message to Henry, and Emma and Regina finally agree on something, and Regina was able to pull out a lost boy's heart. I think they're a lost one's heart. They didn't call them the lost boys once upon a time. And she pulled it out, and they were able to finally get to Henry. And to see Emma agree with Regina, who's someone who's really trying to make her life a living hell, is awesome. Like, that's like just great that Emma is going to Regina's level while Regina is going to Emma's level. And just, I got a comment saying that Rumpelstiltskin is a roller coaster of morality. Regina is just a roller coaster of emotion. And I think I think she's really great. So to see her being able to agree and get along with Emma, and like I said, one of my favorite episodes is when Emma gets to see Regina as the evil queen and how Regina treats her horribly. Now, granted, Regina treated her horribly in Storybook in season 1, but as the evil queen, she was going to kill her. And I just love seeing the contrast between what was and what is, because the hero of Regina, especially when she defeats Zelena, is just amazing because she's just able to let go of her anger, let go of the darkness, and use light magic. And I think Regina is actually probably the strongest character on the show in terms of magic. Next to Zelena, but Zelena's weakness was her pendant, and the second that's gone, Regina wins. She's definitely the strongest, not surpassing Rumpelstiltskin, of course, because of the Dark One status that Rumple has. So, more about Regina. Now, in season 4 or in season 3, Regina is relatively redeemed. And she meets Tinkerbell again, and there's a concept of giving Regina a love interest, which I think is great. After Daniel, love would make her happy. She needs more than Henry. It's kind of like a funny thing to say. I'm not one to always say you need to be in a relationship to be happy, but Regina needs other people in her life to be happy, because just having her anger made her miserable. And like I said, that anger didn't make her happy. Even revenge didn't make her happy. So she needs people around her that care and love her. So I think adding Robin Hood was a great thing to her, because beyond Henry. It's a different type of connection that she can build with. And of course, Regina at first can't do that when she's the evil queen. But when she finally accepts, who she is, and she meets Robin Hood again, it's just such a cool experience just to even view it. That's when the writing is definitely good, because when they focus on Regina specifically, we just have great episodes. The Charming and Snow White episodes are very much, they go on an adventure, they find something, and it's kind of boring and generic. They're relatively boring characters, in my opinion. I don't really see them as being as developed or as interesting as even Emma, or especially Regina, and even Rumpel are. But also, I think Jennifer Goodwin and Josh Dallas are all great actors, but I definitely would say Lana Priya is personified evil queen. I think she just is an amazing actress, and I can really enjoy anything that she works as. I think her performance is spot on, perfect to be the evil queen. And one of the really cool things that I liked about the evil queen overall, I'm veering a little bit, but there's just so much, it's hard to say straight on a topic with Regina. One of my favorite things about Regina overall is, even though she wanted to be not like her mother, she ended up doing something her mother did a lot, which is ripping out hearts. And it's funny to me that Regina, would do that she would allow herself to become like her mother despite not wanting anything to do with her mother. And she said her mother was her greatest weakness before she cast the curse, even though I think her greatest weakness might have been her father, and she killed her father, which is another person she killed. I mean, she does order a lot of deaths, and she definitely did kill a couple people, so she's definitely not perfect, at least as the evil queen. So I just think it's funny, like, even though she didn't want to be like her mother, she still ended up like him, or her, excuse me. In season 4, we see her really be purely good, and if the writing of the show in 4B decides to regress her like they did with Rumpel, I think I might just give up on the show in total, because one of my favorite, actually the least favorite, because I definitely enjoy Regina and Robin Hood together as a couple, but when the writers decided to bring back the ice curse, or the freezing spell as Elsa called it, and have it affect Marion even though Ingrid was dead, Regina told Robin Hood he needs to go. He needs to go into an unknown world with Marion because she can't go alone. Regina originally would never do that at all. She would not let herself, give up on something, at least as evil queen, and even when she was in season 1 before she changed. So that the fact that she allows herself to, give up her own happiness to protect other people, it's just another beautiful thing about her. And she's just a character that I love. I just love the elements of her character, because she's developed. She is the most developed character on the show. She has to be. There's no explaining that. And like I said, the fact that she allowed Robin Hood to go, or not even allowed him, told him to go, got rid of him, was just wow. And then her whole thing about finding the author and making her write a happier story for her is a good idea. I'm actually curious to see who the author will be and how that's going to work out, because I want Regina to have her happy ending. I really do. I definitely think she deserves it. And to not give it to her is just downright wrong, because she's a fan favorite. And obviously as fans we tend to have favorites, and to just not give her the benefit of the happiness is just downright, that's evil of them. The writers are evil to do that. I don't know. So yeah, people, please comment, tweet, anything to make this about Regina with me. I'm just checking it right now to see if anyone has decided to join in, and interesting. Anyway, I think one thing I thought that was really funny, this is just more so a line as opposed to her development. Right when Emma came back and she tells Regina, I brought someone back from the past, and she still views you as evil, and then Regina goes, I understand, I get it, don't worry about it, I will take care of it. Granted, the whole Robin Hood thing had happened, but the fact that, again, she is willing to meet someone, show them that she's changed, just shows how of a good person she overall is, and just it's someone that you like. I think Lana's acting just has something to really do with it too. One of my favorite lines from that episode overall, and this obviously is just, I'm a Frozen fan. I like Frozen a lot. You guys can definitely see that. And if you watch my videos, I've done a couple Frozen themed videos. I even did one where I interacted with the Frozen characters. So make sure to check it out. That one was kind of fun. Or that was a lot of fun to do, I should say. So my point here is one of my favorite lines was with Regina. Is she said, "Well, you better hope to hell you better hope to hell that you didn't bring anything else back." And obviously, right after that line, we see Elsa come out of the urn. And the second I heard that line, all I could think of is she meant to say, "Well, you just better hope to hell you didn't bring Elsa back." I just thought, like, Elsa. It was just the writers clearly were even hinting at it at that moment too, and I just thought that was awesome. And anyway, I just think, like, overall, I only have good things to say about her. I mean, in the Evil Queen episode where she gives into her darkness, and that's like truly her being evil, and that's like the start of her regression. Now, one of my favorite things about Regina, and I'm annoyed with it overall. So for people who are going to be watching season 4 or have caught up to season 4, Ursula, as we know, is coming back in season 4. Now, in season 3, Ursula was a goddess, and she threatened Regina. Now, Regina in season 3 impersonated Ursula to get to Ariel and to get to Snow White, or so much more to get to Snow White than it was to Ariel, but she got to Ariel as well. And I thought Regina made the perfect Ursula. Like, that would have been Ursula fine. Like, to bring Ursula back into the show, I can't stand it. Lana Priya herself said Ursula was actually an inspiration to becoming or to playing the Evil Queen in terms of just delivering her performance. And I think I actually see that Ursula, kind of acts like a used car salesman. She's very manipulative, especially as the Evil Queen. That's perfect for Regina. And the Ursula being here in the show and not being, who she is, no, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Ursula, and I preferred Regina's Ursula. And anyway, for those who are going to be watching season 4, let me know what you think about that. I'm actually very scared of the idea of adding gods into this, because they already said Poseidon is going to be played in season 4. And if you have Poseidon, that means we have Zeus, which also could foreshadow Hercules, which would be kind of cool too. Obviously off of Regina, but this is just more so a thought that I have. If you're, foreshadowing Zeus, or if you have Zeus and Hercules, that'd be really cool, because I think Hercules is a Disney movie that should be in the show. But my point is, by having Ursula be a goddess and having her become a real character on the show, not so much a CGI interpretation, it causes a lot more doors to open, and doors that might not be that awesome. If anyone's noticed, in a lot of Once Upon a Time promo posters, they've done Marvel nods next to them. So they might add Thor. I mean, we've seen Thor's hammer and Rumpel's castle. Either way, I know I'm totally off of Regina right now, but this thought is totally in my head. So Thor could be coming to Once Upon a Time. And imagine Thor fighting the Evil Queen, or anything Thor with any of the characters, how crazy that would be. That's really all I can say to that. So yeah, Regina is just an awesome character. Lisa in the Instigated chat just said, I was so afraid they were going to make Regina evil again, and I am so glad they did not make her evil. Like, having her be evil is wrong at this point. I get it as the Evil Queen, it makes sense, and like going back to flashbacks as her as Evil Queen is really cool. However, the problem with her flashbacks is they all deal with Snow White, and having Snow White, who's relatively boring and static, at least in the Enchanted Forest, causes the episode to be kind of boring. Either way, I just think Regina is just a great character. Another one of my favorite moments for Regina is when she is being held by Peter Pan by that tree. And, he says the tree is where it binds you and it gets tighter as, the more regrets you have. And Regina just looks at him and goes, I cast a curse that destroyed a whole population. I've murdered and tortured people. And then she goes, I should be overflowing with regret, but I'm not. And Lana says it with such this like vice in her voice that you're just like, ooh, it's scary like that. It's a little hint of the Evil Queen, but then she breaks free and she pulls out Henry's heart from Pan's body, and she's just able to, be evil but be good, and that's perfect for me right there. That's one of my favorite Regina scenes overall. Another favorite Regina scene is when she breaks the dark curse in season 3. I like seeing good Regina in Storybrooke and seeing evil Regina in the Enchanted Forest. I just think those are the best ways. Having her become an antagonist again is wrong. So when she interacts with Maleficent, I hope that she's going to be defending Emma or defending Henry. She's not going to be saying, "Oh, Maleficent's back, so I need to join her side." I think that would be completely incorrect and completely out of character for them to do. I'm getting close to the end of my time slot to be doing this. So again, thank you for people who have commented. I appreciate it. Remember to check out the Instigator website. Always to tune in every Thursday at 6. That's when I do these. I do reviews of Blu-rays and movies and television shows all the time. I have a lot of television shows or a lot of Blu-rays, particularly this week, that I'll be doing. I've already made 3. Animation is a big thing on my channel. And so is fantasy, which is why I love Once Upon a Time so much. So make sure to check out my YouTube channel and check out the Instigator site. It's under Robert, as you all know, and I appreciate for anyone who wants to subscribe to it. Always awesome. But like I said, I have a couple minutes left, so shoot me any thoughts you have about Regina that you want me to discuss real quick or answer, or questions. I will try to answer them as quickly as I can. One thing that was that bummed me out in season 3 or 4 was there was supposed to be this, or it was speculated there would be this big battle between Regina versus Elsa or the Snow Queen. And the most interaction Regina had with Ingrid was when Regina took Ingrid took Regina's when Regina's mirror got taken by Ingrid. That was the most extent, and then Ingrid started to choke Regina, but then Elsa blasted Ingrid away. Now Regina instantly liked Elsa, or more or less she was hesitant to Elsa. Then she got on the Frozen train, of course, and she also said let it go like 10 times in season 4. Either way, my point being, one thing I feel that would have been really cool and would have made season 4 just a bit more interesting if Ingrid and Regina ended up in a battle, or even Elsa versus Regina at some point. But obviously Elsa wouldn't really need to fight the Evil Queen. But that's my point overall. Also, another thing is Regina and Emma, that they mend their fences, and Regina is pretty much saying, or Emma says, I want you to be my friend. No one else understands what it's like to be rejected and misunderstood. It always makes me wonder, like, why Ingrid didn't want to go with Regina too, because Regina has a lot of characteristics that Emma and Ingrid and even Elsa relatively embody. I'm guessing it has to do with the blonde hair, that she wanted sisters that matched how she looked. I've got another comment from Instagram asking if Regina. I'm glad to do another Regina discussion again. Honestly, I can say Peter Pan and then just talk about how much Regina is better than Pan. But either way, I will definitely talk more and more about the Evil Queen again. She's a really cool character. So again, I'm going to end the chat right now. Thank you guys for always watching. I appreciate it. All the comments always makes you feel good. Tweet me at Robert if you have questions. Leave comments. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. It's probably going to be 2 seconds in between the replies. I'm really quick with those. So again, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And if you like what you see, always click subscribe down there, or send me a tweet or whatnot, and I will have more videos posted. And Once Upon a Time for episode 5 will be back next Thursday at 6. And of course, season 4 starts March 1st. So I'll be doing discussions of them too. So thank you again, guys. I appreciate it. And have a good one. Bye.